During the final events of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Chris Redfield gives Ethan Winters a weapon named the Albert-01. Ethan then used the weapon on the mutated Evelyn, killing her with relative ease. Many questions can arise from this scene, such as how Chris came into contact with the weapon in the first place, why it was so powerful, and why it was named after his arch nemesis. To answer these questions, we need to go back to where Resident Evil originally started, with Resident Evil 1. In December of 1996, a weapon named the M92F STARS Special was created by the Kendo brothers, at the request of the Raccoon City Police Department. The prototypes were tested by STARS members, including Chris Redfield and Albert Wesker. After approximately 1 year of trials, Police Chief Brian Irons approved the concept in February of 1998. Joe Kendo would go on to dub the weapon the Samurai Edge. As we have seen at the end of Resident Evil 1, Wesker was one of the masterminds behind Umbrella's research on BOWs. Given that both STARS and the Samurai Edge were created to be tested against these BOWs, Wesker must have appreciated the weapon's characteristics enough to use its likeness on his own weapon designs. While many of the Samurai Edges were destroyed or lost, Wesker kept his when he left Raccoon City, as shown during his battle in the aircraft with Chris Redfield during the events of Resident Evil 5. Since before the events of Resident Evil 1, Wesker had been a researcher with Umbrella. He believed that his research would save the lives of the few at the cost of the many, as shown by his comments to Ada Wong in Resident Evil 4 and to Chris Redfield in Resident Evil 5. Due to his obsession with releasing viruses onto the world's population, he believed that there would come a point where he would have to protect himself against the BOWs he manufactured. To combat this, Wesker conducted research on anti-BOW weapons, but due to his massive ego, believed that only he should own these weapons. Sometime after Wesker's death, which occurred in March of 2009, Blue Umbrella took his research and began to create new anti-BOW handheld weapons. The smallest of these weapons being the Albert-01, an anti-BOW pistol created by Blue Umbrella in 2017. The Albert-01 was humanity's penultimate anti-biohazard armament. Chris Redfield had been working with the BSAA since 2003. When Blue Umbrella started to create the Albert series of weapons, they issued them on a trial basis to the BSAA and other anti-biohazard units. Chris Redfield was given an Albert-01 pistol through this program. In his mission to the Baker House in 2017, he brought the Albert-01 pistol loaded with ramrods, or rapid-acting mycetotoxic rounds, which were bullets specifically designed to combat fungus-based bioweapons and prevent regeneration of lost tissue. While Ethan was fighting Evelyn at the end of Resident Evil 7, Chris was flying on board a helicopter above. Chris saw his chance to drop the case containing his Albert-01 pistol to Ethan, who then proved Albert's design by using it against Evelyn.